Yeah, 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 Ergo. Hey, 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 look.
And welcome back to another episode of Millennial Dungeon. I go by the name of Stefan.
And I'm Amari, aka Afropuff.
You know what time it is. What time is it, Steph? It's time for the Millennial Dungeon. Let's get it popping. How you feeling today, Afro?
I'm good. I'm tired.
Yeah, same. It's been a long weekend, but we coming back from it.
I drove 6 hours today. I came from the DC area, the DMV.
How was that?
Oh, it was lit. It was fun. You're glitching again.
Yeah. Good.
We're gonna have to keep that in. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. The Matrix. You know what I'm saying? we in the Matrix right now.
Something. Oh no, where did my co-host
So
go?
let's jump right into the topic. So
Mhm.
today's topic, chivalry.
Chivalry.
Okay, so last week it was a video on TikTok that we
Mm-hmm.
can't share, but we're just gonna talk about. It was a girl that went to Domino's, and basically she got a pizza, and some guy that he was basically trying to flirt with her, trying to spit game at her, and he put Queen, her name, on the receipt when he gave her the pizza, and he took off some money. And she was all going in the video talking about, oh my God, he was so nice and stuff. He was doing this. He put Queen La La on my receipt and stuff. I'm like, oh, did he write his number on the receipt? Oh my God, you can tell she was giddy. You know what I'm saying? She was
It was so
blushing and stuff.
cute.
Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, it was kind of sweet. But
It
even
was
though
cute.
we didn't see the dude, you know what I'm saying? In my mind, I'm thinking, hold up, wait a minute. Now she had to find him that attractive to be like, oh my God, chivalry is this. So I put on a question on the Millennial Dungeon page last week is basically saying, is chivalry, do women find chivalry attractive only when they find the dude attractive? And I got the answers that honestly I kind of expected. They're like, no, chivalry is love no matter if they look good or whether they're not good looking. I love chivalry anyway and stuff like that, which I kind of expected. But you know me, I got to be devil's advocate, you know what I'm saying, for the topic. So I'm gonna just ask you, what do you think about chivalry? Do you think chivalry matters on the person?
Okay, so I think the issue, my first issue is when we get into this topic, everyone's definition of chivalry is different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Technically, if we want to get technical, because we know we're both English majors,
Mm-hmm.
chivalry comes from the chivalric code, which
Mm.
was a knight's code. What it meant to be a good knight. How did you become a good knight? How were you going to become knighted and stay knighted?
Mm-hmm.
And this idea has evolved. And so I think really to me, chivalry is just a guy or really a person, but when we're talking about like heteronormative relationship, a guy being a kind person, a genuine person, someone who shows up for the person that they're interested in or that they like or that they're with.
Right.
And so I think there's nothing negative. Like, yes, that's a turn on or it's attractive or whatever, because who doesn't want to feel special? Who
Right.
doesn't want to feel taken care of? Who doesn't want to feel noticed? You know what I
Right.
mean? But I think sometimes we confuse or conflate basic manners, basic kindness, basic being a good person with chivalry.
Right.
You know what I mean? How would you, as a man, define chivalry?
For me, chivalry to me is obviously like the norm as of holding the door for a woman, making sure you pull out the chair from, walking on the opposite side of the curb when y'all walking down the street and stuff. Those are basic things that me as a man have been taught, especially like me growing up with a single mother.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that's something that my mom always taught me. And truth be told, though, I feel like those are things that I feel like one, a lot of men aren't really taught nowadays, and two, like a lot of men don't even know. Because I asked a few
Yeah.
people like last week, a few guys that I know, they was probably like in their early 20s though.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I'm saying like I showed them a video of a dude walking on the wrong side of the street, and I was like, "You see anything wrong with it?" They was like, "No, man, I don't see nothing wrong with it, Steph." They
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't know. So to me, that's the basic things of chivalry. You know what I'm saying? Just be doing something like that's genuine.
Right.
But my thing is this though, so because I gotta had to voice my opinion. That's why I posted a question last week. I don't think that chivalry is something that a lot of people, especially like a lot of younger women, are like really pay attention to or really value in men.
You know what? I'm gonna disagree.
Okay.
I think it's not that it's not valued because listen,
Mm-hmm.
how excited the women and girls I know get about small things like, oh, he paid for my dinner. Oh, he took, he opened the door for me. He was holding the door. He was being like extra courteous.
Uh-huh.
Every single time my friend has started seeing somebody new,
Uh-huh.
my friends rather, and the guy has done something of that nature, it has been reported back. So
Did she
I
find
think
him attractive?
huh?
Did she find him attractive, or did she even say that? Did she tell you that?
Well, generally it's someone they've already are interested in. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I'm saying like if you're already interested in someone and you are hanging out or you're going on dates, either way, when a
Uh-huh.
guy does something extra to be kind, to be generous, to be like, I like you, even if it's on a platonic level,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like, even if a guy who maybe you're interested in him and he's not interested in you, but he does kind things for you that are just kind of like above what you generally receive,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, that's a nice dude. Like, you know what? He might not like me, but I want to be his friend still. I want him to get somebody good.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think women really do appreciate those things. And now there is, a narrative that's out there that like there are women who don't care about those things or don't like those things, but I think that's a minority. You know what I mean? Just like I think everyone wants
Mm-hmm.
to feel special to the person they're interested in or to their
Okay.
friends. You know what I mean? So I don't think I think most women do like and appreciate those things, even if they are not vocalizing it to men.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the issue because men don't hear women telling them about it.
Yeah.
But best believe anytime a man does something special like that toward a woman and they're not, especially if they're not accustomed to that type of treatment, it's going to their friends. Their
Okay.
friends are telling you about it.
So I like what you said too, because that it kind of goes back to my point too, because you said every woman wants a man to be chivalrous that they're interested in. So I feel like it still has to be that level of interest in order to be like, oh, chivalry is attractive. Because I know, because not don't get me wrong, obviously a man holding the door or a man walking on the opposite side on sidewalk or a man being able to protect the woman, that's something that you should already be taught to know how to do. That's those are masculine things that as men we're already supposed to know how to do. But as far as like going above and beyond, as far as I don't know, buying her flowers or getting her chocolates or texting her, "Good morning, beautiful. How was your day today?" You know what I'm saying? Do you need anything for lunch? I don't know if a man should
But is
go all out for that. You get what
but
I'm
is that
saying?
chivalry? I don't know if that's necessarily chivalry.
Can it be though?
I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it can't be rather, but I don't
Uh-huh.
know. I think that's if you're interested in someone, that's you showing interest. That's
Yeah.
you taking care to like make sure they know you're
Uh-huh.
interested. You know what I mean? Um, and I think the difference is that when a woman is interested in a man, those extra kind acts are seen as chivalrous. However, if she doesn't know a man or isn't interested in him, or you know what I mean,
Yeah.
if he does something like that, it's appreciated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, but it's not necessarily I'm going to write home about because I don't know him.
Yeah.
If some guy behind, some guy who's attractive holds the door open for me, I'm going to be appreciative of it because you didn't just let the door slam in my face or you waited for me even though I was a couple feet behind you. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily going to be like, ooh, pining after him because I don't know you. I
Yeah.
can appreciate your beauty, but like that doesn't mean I want you.
So I got a question for you then. I'm kind of putting you on the spot because I'm asking you to speak for most of the majority of women. But
Oh
do you
Lord.
think the most of the majority of women, like say we take a Michael B. Jordan, yeah, I know you about to lick your lips. Michael B. Jordan, doing this nice things and being chivalrous versus a Flavor Flav being nice and chivalrous to a woman. Do you think that same woman is going to look at them with the same type of energy for doing that, or is she going to look at them different because that level of attraction?
I guess my issue with this question is
Uh,
just that you're basing like it all about attraction, but I'm going to appreciate those acts regardless of who did it.
uh.
But yeah, if Michael B. Jordan does it, I might actually be interested in him, but I don't want a 50-plus-year-old man.
Okay, let's say Flavor Flav was 32. Like this, it's near the same age as Michael B.
All
Jordan.
right, first I need to see a picture of Flavor Flav from when he was 32. No, I'm kidding. But no, but I'm just saying I don't count someone as holding the door open for me as a way for me to automatically be like, ooh, let me be interested in him.
Uh,
I don't think most women are geared that way. Little small acts of kindness can just be small acts of kindness.
mm-hmm.
I don't think women typically start to think of chivalry until there's already a romantic aspect involved.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm already interested in this person, or they're already pursuing me, or I'm already pursuing them. So if it's just some stranger who I don't know, I'm going to take that kind act as a kind act. You know, I'm not saying there aren't people who aren't going to shoot their shot in the middle of the courthouse, but generally speaking, there's a time and a place, and that ain't it. Because yeah, he might look like Michael B. Jordan, but he also might have a couple felonies. He might be trying to.
But you think the majority of women are gonna be thinking about that, or are they gonna be thinking, "Damn girl, he tall," or "Damn girl, he look good," "Damn he muscular"? Because I know you would think that, but the majority of women would they think like that?
I don't think so, because he held the door open for me.
Mm-hmm. Or just something like nice, like, hey, let's say he just walked up to you and say, "Hey, how you doing? My name is such and such. No, I just don't want to think, know, let you know that you're beautiful, and I just want to let you know that I want to take you out, and because you're such a queen and something like that." Versus somebody that looked like Flavor Flav saying those exact same lines, it's
Now
going
you
to
have
make
to
a
remember,
difference.
what we have to remember, beauty is really subjective.
It
It is the
is.
eye of the beholder. So there are people not to, there are going to be people who find you really attractive, and there's going to be people who find you not attractive. I had
Mm,
someone once tell me that I was a 4
out of out of what?
out of 10, a 4.
Who? You smacked him?
No, but
Oh,
my point is, but I had a guy once tell me that I was a 4, and I don't believe that about myself at all. And I think using number ratings is messed up. However, I also have a boyfriend who literally worships the ground I walk on.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I know there are people who do not find my boyfriend attractive, who have told me multiple times, but I don't care.
Because you find him attractive.
Exactly. So, I think what you're kind of insinuating is it potential that if a woman finds a guy creepy, is really uninterested and he's going out of his way to do things that may be not authentic, like for a purpose, yeah, she's going to turn him off. She's
Mm-hmm.
not going to be appreciative of it. But I think the whole idea of chivalry is you're doing it because you think it's right. You're doing it
Mm-hmm.
because you think it's kind. You're doing it because from a genuine space. But if you're holding the door and trying to talk to me and flirt with me and tell me I'm a beautiful queen, da da da, and your intentions aren't good, you're being creepy, or you're like not listening to both my verbal and my body language, like my verbal communication, my body language telling you I'm not interested.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not going to appreciate that.
Quick question.
You
My
help
bad.
for me, or you
Uh-huh.
help me carry boxes in, doesn't mean that I owe you anything, or that you
Right,
owe
of
me.
course. So I got a quick question. So you said like as long as it's genuine, like you should be doing nice things because it's genuine, right?
Right.
Now in this generation, can you really tell whether chivalry is genuine or not?
That's a good question. You know what though? I would say you could say that, ask that same question of any generation, because there's always people who use certain things to
Yeah,
be manipulative, or you know what I mean. Like that's not something indicative of people our age.
yeah.
How many movies, black rom-com movies, have you seen that same scenario? Oh, I'm gonna do this for her so she will like me. It's in all it's pervasive. And that's why I just think we all should be striving to be a good person. Be
Yeah.
kind to people. And sometimes that kindness will get you relationships that you never expected, either in a friendship or maybe romantically, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe even a mentorship or a menteeship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's all these different types of relationships that being kind benefits,
Yeah.
being helpful, being protective, being considerate.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking too, because obviously, I feel like this scenario always gets played out so much because you hear everybody and their grandma talk about this. Obviously, the future and the Russell Wilson comparison, how you know Russell Wilson is a quote unquote nice guy doing all these nice things for future, and how people was coming at Russell Wilson and Sierra talking about a girl wouldn't want a Russell Wilson and stuff like that. Personally, I think Russell Wilson is a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? He just grew up in the suburbs and stuff, so it's like, of course, he's going to be act a certain way. He's not going to act like the regular hood dude and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But
Yes, but there's lots of, guys who grew up in the hood or whatever who are good guys, who are
oh
nice
yeah, of
guys, who
course,
treat women right. So my point is, I feel like it's more indicative of who they are as people.
yeah. So my thing is this about the Russell Wilsons too, as far as like, because a lot of women I remember saying like, "Oh, girl, I need me a Russell Wilson. Need me a dude to do this. I need me a dude to buy me flowers and chocolates and fly me out on trips and stuff like that." And that's where I was kind of conflicted because, like, me, in my opinion, I think a lot of women, not all, but most women only really want a Russell Wilson when he has some kind of level of status. Honestly, because I feel like it's weird. I feel like a lot of women, especially a majority of women, really don't want 100% the nice guy, like they say. I
See,
think you gotta be a good blend. Like you can't be 100% the nice guy because I feel like nowadays women get bored of the 100% nice guy. I feel like you gotta be a little bit like a good guy and treat her right, but you also gotta have just a little bit of edge. And I know that sounds messed up to say, but like you kind of have to because think about it. You know how boring it
okay,
is when
but
somebody say yes to you all the
but you
time.
know what? None of
Yeah,
us actually know Russell Wilson. Let's
we
start
don't.
there. So we're saying, oh, the Russell Wilson type guy. I'm sure he has his own little edges. You know what I mean? His own
Yeah.
little way of asserting dominance in his relationship. What you're trying to like, what sounds like to me you're suggesting is like, oh, women want a guy who can be dominant at sometimes or be authoritative or who can be, you know what I mean? But the thing is, everybody has different measures for what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, some people have a more traditional masculine viewpoint. Like that's what they want in a man. They want someone who maybe is a more traditionally masculine or, hard or whatever. And some people want like a softie. Like, I don't like being told no. Don't tell me no. I'm a princess. Start number one, I'm a princess. Okay. You know,
Lord.
but I think I think you have a right idea, but not the number of women you keep saying like not most, but yes, most, in your answer.
Well,
I
I'll
think
say majority. I'm not gonna say all because it is women that really would appreciate a dude that's 100% the nice guy. But I will say like most girls, especially like if I say age range between like 20, like or late 20s and down. I feel like they don't want 100% the nice guy. I feel like the
well,
100% nice
you have
guy is
to
somebody they
remember
settle down with.
well, yeah, because that's how you learn what you actually want. You date men and women, you date a lot of frogs till you find the right frog. Like, you know what I mean? Till you find the prince or princess. I keep
Uh-huh.
going with like, you know, fairy tales, I guess, today. But I mean, let's be real. The bad boy idea is sold to us in the media and
Mm-hmm.
in our books. Um, the bad bitch is sold to us in the media. You know what I mean? Like those are
Yeah.
concepts that are often shown to us as what we should want. Or, it's edgy, it's sexy, but no one actually wants to settle down with someone who doesn't have substance, someone who doesn't care about them, someone who's not genuine, someone who isn't putting in thought and effort. And so I guess for nice, genuine men and women, it can feel like no one wants me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that no one wants you, it's just you got to wait for your time. Because at the same time, you don't want to be with someone who one is either going to try to change you or going to put you through such a traumatic experience that now that is who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Um, but like the bad boy is supposed to be sexy. That's how they are characterized. But a lot of women feel like they can change a man, and then they try to change a man who cannot change because that's who he
Mm-hmm.
is, or that's what his trauma has created him to be. And so then they get hurt. And they
Yep.
not just their feelings hurt, sometimes they get physically hurt. Sometimes whatever. And so you learn from those experiences, like, you know what, that's not the type of person I want. And my dad says this, like, women who go after hood dudes, like guys who are into illegalities, as I like to say, don't actually want a stable relationship. And they don't necessarily realize that within themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But there are only, there aren't many avenues for a guy who isn't doing the right things in life. Who isn't playing by the law.
Yeah.
It's jail, the ground, or with another chick. You know what I mean? And we can argue here and there, why is he like that? What is about his environment? Because a lot of it isn't in his control. However, when you go after guys who are not stable, and when I mean not stable, not like, oh, he's in between jobs right now, but not stable because he's doing things that either are going to get him into the jail or into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You recognize those things. And you like that relationship because it's temporary. You
Yeah.
know it's temporary, even if in your head you're saying it's going to be forever.
Yeah.
Because, they're hurt typically. There's
Yeah.
something going on within them that makes them so attracted to that type of guy and pursuing that type of guy over and over and over again.
And I think another thing is too is like the reason why I feel like chivalry or the quote unquote nice guy is not as valued, especially like if we're gonna keep it real, especially in our community, is because a lot of us don't have enough examples of that in the household. Because truth be
Right?
told, this is gonna sound messed up to say, a lot of us that grow up in the inner city don't come from two-parent households, so we don't really see like the male positive father figure in the household being doing the right thing, going working that good 9 to 5 job, being having stable income, showing how a man's supposed to provide and protect his family and stuff like that. A lot of times we we got
Well,
our
the
role
fact of the
models
matter,
the
right?
fast money way. You know what I'm saying?
I'm right. The fact of the matter is, kids need positive role models of men and women.
Yeah,
They need to see positive relationships between men and women because that's what they're going to model
yeah,
their future relationships off of. So when you come from dysfunction, when you come from brokenness, it's a lot of extra work to not repeat that cycle. Not that you can't,
mm-hmm.
but it's just harder.
Yeah,
And if all the role models around you are saying, oh, you need to be hard, you need to do this, you know what I mean? And they're telling you a lot of negative things potentially to replicate, what can you expect?
yeah,
And that's for men and women because women are taught a lot of toxic things too.
facts.
And, I had someone tell me this weekend that her mother and her grandmother taught her that regardless of what a man ever does to you, you shouldn't leave. You should try to make it work.
Damn. Regardless,
Right.
anything.
It doesn't matter if he's beating your ass. It doesn't matter if he's cheating on you and giving you STIs. You should try to figure out how to make it work.
Shit.
And that's something a lot of women are taught.
Yeah.
A lot of women. I was reading a post the other day, and it was just basically about how this at the that commercial from, what was that football game? The Super Bowl. There we go.
What was that football game?
It just wasn't coming to me. I was like, the NFL, the NFL, the NFL. The commercial that made it seem like the channel had changed.
Mm-hmm.
Friend had like a really exaggerated and like awful response to it and blamed her and was angry and was not, and so she left him because it was just a lot of negative signs. And her parents told her, like, oh, you should try to work it out with him. It's not that big of a deal. When he's showing her in this way abusive tendencies.
Yeah.
And that's the issue. Both men and women, when you see an abusive tendency, should instantly go, you know what? It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Because no one should be putting their hands on each other. No one should be yelling at each other, calling each other outside of their name repeatedly. Stuff like that. Over at reacting to simple situations. And that's why actually so many women I know, and like I'm a woman's woman, like a woman's woman. Most of my friends are women. I was in a sorority. Like I have really good, strong relationships with actually a lot of women in comparison to what's the norm.
Mm.
Like, and that's why it's interesting because I have so many friends who have settled or been with guys who were not very kind to them, who didn't do, like honestly, in relationships in general, the bar is in hell. The bar
Mm.
is in hell for both men and women. But my point really being like, it shouldn't be such a big deal that he held the door open for you, that he opened your door at the car, that he helped you carry your bags in. Because that's what a nice guy who's interested in you should do. But
Right.
the fact of the matter is, that's something to write home about to your friends.
Okay. I guess we can just end that topic with there. It's like, more of the story is there's nothing wrong with chivalry and stuff. Just and this is my moral of the story. Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons when it comes to chivalry. And at the end of the day, ain't nothing wrong being a nice guy. Just as long as you you make sure you be the nice guy for the right person. Don't be the nice guy to everybody. That's my advice. You know what I'm saying? Especially people that don't like you. So,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Erk up.